Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
So you really got to wonder, at what point does ABC and The View just decide to take Sunny Hostin off of the air because she is causing way too much legal liability and potential defamation lawsuits? Because just 2 days ago, we covered how Sunny was forced to read a legal note, essentially apologizing to Matt Gaetz on air for making arguably defamatory statements about him. So you would think, okay, maybe Sunny has learned her lesson. Maybe she won't be doing that again. No, 2 days later, we have a follow-up video for you because Sunny was once again forced to read a legal note live on air. And this came as on the same exact episode of The View. And this is what makes it so ironic. They ran an entire segment talking about how Joe Rogan is crazy. He's not fact-checked. He's not a reliable source of information, but apparently The View are reliable sources of information. And then meanwhile, you have Sunny reading the legal notes. It's just so lacking in self-awareness. So we'll cover all of it, talk about it here today. So folks, do us a big favor. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe if you are new. And why should you subscribe? Because it ensures we can keep bringing you these videos. We are trying to hit 400K by Trump's inauguration or even the start of the new year. Be sure to support the work. Help us get there by hitting that red button for free. And with that said, let's start here. So here is Sunny on today's episode of The View, once again having to read a correction on air about the false claims she made against Matt Gaetz and Pete Hegseth.
Oh, sorry. I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime. Gaetz previously dismissed allegations that he paid for sex, saying that, quote, someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward. Another legal note, Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. He has denied any wrongdoing.
Just call the show Legal Note from now on.
Or really long music. We'll be right back.
Yeah, so look, again, let's not forget, like this is literally right after she was forced to make the last legal note. So I get it. Okay, sometimes you get things wrong. You say you provide misleading information. You have to clarify yourself, whatever. Okay, it happens. Right? Every major show, every major network, you're going to face some type of defamation lawsuit at some point. Doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right, whatever. But the fact that, again, like this week, Sunny had to do that because she said false crap about Matt Gaetz. And then 2 days later, you don't think to yourself, okay, let me be a little more careful talking about Matt Gaetz and Pete Hegseth. Let me keep that in mind. No, she goes right back to it. And then once again, ABC makes her read yet another legal note. And guys, if you didn't see the last video, let me just show you really quickly. This is what Sunny had to say in yet another seemingly hostage video. It looked like it, literally just on a prior episode of The View this week.
Great. Sunny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, so that was on November 19th, guys. Today is November 21st. Again, my question is, okay, like it happens. You get things wrong. Fine. How do you let the same thing happen twice in a week? It's like she has so little regard, honestly, for the truth that she'll just go out and do it again. Like she doesn't even care. It's actually unbelievable, okay? Now, the great irony in all of this is today, check this out, on that episode of The View. Now, the great irony in that is today, Joy Behar and the hosts of The View decided to attack Joe Rogan for arguing that he is not a reliable source of information, but The View is, and they're the ones that tell the truth. This is like right on the same show where Sonny's like, oh, sorry guys, I defamed someone. I have to apologize. Let me clarify and read this legal disclaimer. Yeah. Okay. Take a listen. You can't even make this up. This is them talking about Joe Rogan on the same exact episode.
We'll check that one. Yeah.
But I think that that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
We're checked by everybody.
Yeah. I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
The human legal.
But we went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons? He believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like dinosaur-y type of animals, roamed the earth when people did. So this is the type of really, really bad information that's going out there.
Well, in defense, there are some really good news.
It's possible that Donald Trump did roam the earth when dinosaurs were here.
There are some.
So you shouldn't listen to Joe Rogan because he believes in dragons. Now, look, I'm not even here to get into that. I don't know if Joe Rogan even said that, right? Like, who knows? Who really cares? I would kind of respond to that, but I thought Cenk Uygur, of all people, okay, Cenk Uygur, MAGA Cenk, yet another W from him this week. He goes on and says, Joy Behar says Joe Rogan believes in dragons, and that's why he's not reliable, whereas The View is very reliable. Now, the comeback to that is they thought Biden was young and dynamic and had no problems with his cognitive abilities and was the best possible candidate. I've got dragons as slightly more credible. No, that's so true. W Cenk for this. That is completely accurate, right? It's like, oh, how could you listen to Joe Rogan? He believes in dragons. How could you listen to The View? They believe that Joe Biden was in perfect cognitive shape. Which one actually sounds crazier? Okay, because at least with the dragons thing, you can't really prove it. I mean, I could honestly make the argument, well, dragons do exist in a lot of different cultures, cave paintings, maybe there was, who knows? Okay, whatever. Like I said, I'm not here to get into that, but at least that's something you can theorize on. But Joe Biden's cognitive decline, we're all watching in real time. We're here, we see the evidence, and we see that's not true. So what's crazier? Speculating on something that happened in ancient history that you don't really have proof of either way, and it's just a theory, or being presented with a very real world piece of evidence that Joe Biden is not cognitively there and still defending him and denying the reality in front of your face. Cenk has a great point there, honestly. But let's keep listening here as The View explains why they're just such a shining and reliable source of information.
Really good news kind of influencer types. And I think it's great that they're getting information about global and current events in front of younger people who maybe don't tune into traditional media. But to Sarah's point, there has to be some fact checking and actually verification of the things that are shared, because I spend a lot of time on Instagram Reels and I'm served up things that I get outraged about. And then I realize, oh, that's not even true, but I have the sense to go and look it up. But what I do worry about...
Oh, fact checking? You mean like the legal disclaimer that Sonny tries to read really fast before commercial break and you have music playing over it so it doesn't even, like, you're barely listening to it? Yeah. Real solid fact checking that goes on The View. No, okay. What happens is you guys say like totally untrue crap, and then the fact checkers and the lawyers at the network are like, stop saying this, I correct this because we're going to get a legal disclaimer. And then you're like, oh, well, we're such a reliable source of information because we get fact checked by our own lawyers constantly. Really? Really? Again, who are you actually to talk? I'm just saying. All right. But yeah, guys, there you have it. According to The View, you should not listen to Joe Rogan because he believes in dragons. But you should listen to The View, who believes, like Cenk points out there, in Joe Biden's perfect cognitive condition. Okay. And this, of course, comes meanwhile Sunny Hostin is trying to avoid a defamation lawsuit every 2 seconds because she just keeps saying things on the show. It's like, here's the thing, okay? Yeah, people get on live streams, they say things, whatever. You would think if like you work at a network and this is big time, show, ABC, all this stuff, you have a team around you, you're not going to get together before the show and verify things before you're going to say them. I'm sorry. Okay. She is a lazy person. She clearly has no regard even for the job that she does. She just doesn't care. She's going to go out and say whatever she wants. you know? And again, you got to ask ABC, do you want to keep having to do this? Because I really think, you know, maybe you should consider, perhaps, not sure, deciding to do something about the fact that she is costing you likely a lot of money by constantly going out and defaming people like this. But that's for ABC to decide. I wouldn't mind if The View entirely was, you know, taken off the airwaves, but that is what it is. That's not for me to decide, right? But that said, guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.